This is Cynthia'a Ortiz, and these are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast, David Robertson Stalker podcast, abbreviated version, based on information that just came into our guys. First of all, Mr. Robertson and Mr. Perry, all day long, that's all they talked about was taking my car away. So, we've talked about this. This is not new. This is old. Over and over and over, Mr. Perry wants to get to my car. And what they've done is they sold me to this Houston realtor named Larry. We've said this. Most victims do not know they're sold. They don't know who they're sold to. They don't know where the guy lives and what he does for a living. And I do know that. And these people do not understand what it means that we have that. It's unbelievable. They're starting to believe that both Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson are mentally ill, some kind of senile dementia. Hang on. So they're both. Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. His cruelty got us that information. He's very, very, very cruel. He's deprived me of food. He's deprived me of shelter. He's deprived me of bath to try to pressure and force me to be trafficked. And that's not unusual for traffickers to do that. They will try to make a woman destitute. Here, you can go live under a bridge and eat out of a dumpster, or you can go live in this house we have, and if we feel like feeding you, we'll feed you. And then when our Johns come over, you're going to service the John, and then he's going to pay us, and you're not getting a dime of that. We're going to keep it, but you have this apartment. You don't have to live under a bridge. And if you try to leave, we'll make it where you can't get a job. We'll make it where you go to jail. We'll find a way to put you in jail. We'll ruin you. Okay, you don't have a life until we decide you have a life. So they decided to do that to me. I found out before because they are under police investigation and they know that. So we have all these quotes all day long. They talked about getting my car. We quote them every day. We found out they drugged Michael Neely before anybody else said that. Nobody else had that information. It was not out. It was not public. We had it in March 2020, and they didn't get it. The lawyers did not get that information until depositions were taken in May. And Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson are not all there. The elevators are not going to the top, and we're not working at all. We're not sure. And so when we say that, and we have this information, every day we quote you. We have people that are on your payroll. We have their names. We have your code words that you guys use. It doesn't click what it means that we have that. It's just like, you might as well tell it to a wall. But they all run around going, how does she know? How'd she find out about that? It's been this way every day, all day long for 10 years. So what my guy said is, when you do your crime to Cindy, there's a reason that you get caught. There's a reason that we find out. You choose to continue to do it anyway. So you don't get to complain. You don't. You are asking for it because it's been this way 10 years, all day long, every day. You know good and well when you invade her privacy, when you contact her in any way, shape, or form, you just sit around on your ass and torment her all day, or pester her, or jam her for phone, or take her money, or make it where she can't make money, or cause a problem, and threaten her car. You know good and well what's going to happen. We're going to find out what you're up to. Because she's our girl, she's our witness. Our job is to keep her safe so that she can testify against you in court. Okay? Our goal is to put you in jail and to bury you in so many charges, so much evidence, it'll take your attorney 6 years to go through it all. Because you are monsters for a lot of people for a very long time. And everybody's very tired of it. So you know good and well when you go at her, you're going to get caught. Don't act surprised. Don't act shocked and dismayed. Count on it. Because it's been this way every day, all day long, for a decade. She moved 2 times to get away from Charles Perry. Twice. She has done everything she can do to get away from him. He has come where she is, no matter where she goes, and all he does is cause problems. All he does is cause loss. He's trying to deprive her of food and shelter again. We all know it. We're all talking about it. He thinks that he can pressure her to be delivered to Larry so they can all get their money. We found out about it. We've talked about it. She's talked about it. Everybody knows. There's no secret here. It's a very, very heinous crime. Very heinous crime. And he's caught, and David Robertson's caught, and Mr. Bittencourt's caught, and Sonjay's caught, and all those guys are caught. They act like they don't know that. We know that. Everybody's talking about it. Okay. Mr. Perry has come to Oklahoma and demanded people help him get elected to be governor. Okay. Well, he's been told more than once, listen, the people who vote for the Texas governor live in Texas. We are all in Oklahoma. So if you want to be the governor of Texas, go run for governor in Texas. And do not call people in Oklahoma anymore and tell them they need to do something for you that is deceptive so that you can be governor. Do not do that one more time. They don't owe you a lie. They don't want to lie for you. You don't have the right to ask them to lie for you. What you need to do is, if you want to be governor in Texas, go talk to people who vote in Texas and leave the people of Oklahoma alone. Get off your ass and go work. Okay, number 2. So we get another one in tonight, and I'm basically going to repeat what the man said pretty much verbatim. So this was probably 10 minutes ago. He said, and there is again a tip-off in this phone call to me. What he said is, Cynthia did not steal any money from her boss at work, and everyone knows that. For 6 months, Mr. Perry deprived her of her basic rights and needs of food, shelter, and hygiene. She lived in her car. She didn't eat but about twice a week. She didn't bathe but about twice a week. When she did go bathe, he stole her car. He intentionally made it impossible for her to pay the payments. But the guy that she bought the car from knew her well, knew that she had another student loan money thing coming, and that he could get the rest of his money when that came in. All he had to do is chill. And she has bought many cars. Charles wrecks every car she has right at the wheel. So she has bought a lot of cars from this man. And he had a loyal customer that he did something horrible to. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people had a very big problem with what Charles did to her during that period of time. She's completely broke. She went to live out at the club, and she worked her ass off for the man that she has worked for off and on for 10 years. Those people know her extremely well. They know her. She has worked for him for a decade. The people that are now there are new. She's been there a good long time. Okay, they know her. She lived at that club. Mr. Perry, you're still trying to communicate with me, and that is going to cost you everything you have. You are not to invade my privacy. You are not to contact me or my family, and you are not to cause me problems. Because you did all day long, we have typed up what you said all day long. We get the information before, not after. No other victim has this. No other victim has it. I have it, and it's different when you do it to me, and I'm having to repeat myself for you once again. If you have to have things said to you that you should just know over and over and over and over and over, then you are not competent mentally or intellectually to be dog catcher. If you want to be governor, you absolutely must respond appropriately to what is said to you the first time it's said. And no one should have to repeat themselves again. No one. Most people just know that a crime is a crime because it's offensive and other people do not like it. Okay? Get the hell out of my phone and do not contact me again. I did not ask you what you think. I'm sick and tired of hearing what you think. I moved 2 times to never have to hear what you think or how you feel or what you think or what you want or what you need. 2 times I left and I moved to get away from all that. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I would like for you to get out of my phones, both of them, and don't contact me again. I don't want to hear it. Every time you continue to ignore my basic rights and needs, like the right to privacy in my phone, the right to food and shelter, the right to work and not be harassed and a victim of crime every time I go to work, you don't have the right to go there and make it hostile. And you've done that more than once. You're violating my rights is what gets us this right here. So don't ask, how did she know? How did she find out? You know exactly. Every time you upset everyone because you're violating my basic rights and needs, we get a lot of help because everybody's very tired of this. Very, very tired of this. They're not worried about the millions you're not going to make from trafficking a human being. They're worried about you taking my $30 or my $50 so that I'm not able to eat. I'm not able to have a place to live. I'm not able to take a bath. I'm not able to look at my phone and there's not a bunch of men doing illegal things in my phone. I'm not able to walk in my home without being gawked at and raped by men I don't even know. That's what everybody's upset with. That is why we get the help. That is why you get told on. And if you cannot understand that at this point, Mr. Perry, you're not mentally or intellectually competent to be dog catcher. Okay? You're not a businessman, and you need to be in a nursing home. And we're having to repeat ourselves again. Sir, you are offending a lot of people in what you're doing to me. You're offending a lot of people in what you're asking them to do to me for you. You and David. You and Betancourt. You and Lucius. They're sick of it. Jacob, you got people really mad at you right now. Really mad at you. I'm not going to keep repeating myself for you all. Hang on. I have something I got to take care of. Okay, so the guy basically just said, so she's living in her car for 6 months and not able to eat, not able to take a bath. She could not even go take a bath without getting her car taken away from her. And the problem is that people were upset enough about it that she found out the day before. She emailed her attorney. She said they just talked to Brandon at the Flying J. He's the manager. They just told him, call us when she comes up there to take a shower. We're going to let her make enough money today to get a bath. So she should be up there today. When she gets there, take a shower, call us. Well, I did not go that day. The email was sent to my attorney on the 18th of January. It's just like these emails here. We said it before. I didn't go until the next day. I've already emailed my attorney. I've already given him verbatim what was said, just like I'm doing right now, in a police recording. That police recording will be used in a court of law to get convictions against Charles, Dave, Betancourt, Lucius, all those guys that run human trafficking and think that's supposed to be, we're all supposed to feel sorry for them, that they may not be able to make delivery and get paid this time, and they're trying to, but it's okay if I'm deprived of just food, basic rights and needs, food, privacy, a place to live, food, shelter, normal things people have, right? Guess what? The rest of us are horrified by your little group of rapists and cop killers and pedophiles. And I can say that is my opinion based on what, listen, there are people, OJ got acquitted. People still say, I think he killed his wife, Nicole. We get to do that in this country. We get to say, in my opinion, based on what I saw, what I know, what I heard, what I read, I believe O.J. Simpson is guilty of murder in the first degree of Nicole Simpson. Well, I, Cynthia Ortiz, based on what I've seen, what I've heard, a lot of times when we say they were recorded talking about this specific crime and we got detailed information on it, they do it anyway. Like Get My Car on January 19th, when they knew I had an email on January 18th saying that's what they just re-recorded talking about doing. Okay, so in my opinion, you're a pedophile, you're a cop killer, and you are a rapist. Period. That's what you all are. And you're deeply entrenched in organized crime. You're sex weirdos. We call you Team Toldon. Team Senile and Team Toldon. You're creepy as shit. You're rejected. You're a fail. You fail. You can't just go be normal like the rest of us. You can't understand that people do not like you. We're getting the help because nobody likes you. You're getting told on because nobody likes you. Crime offends, so stop doing it. People don't like your crime. They don't like it. You make everybody want to throw up all the time. We're all creeped out all the time. We all want to barf all the time. And you're imposing that on us. And you don't have the right to do that. You don't. I came up to Oklahoma, Charles, to get away from you and never have to hear from you again. I don't give a fuck about you. You have come up here and bothered me and threatened me and harassed me and bothered me and threatened me and harassed me, tried to kill me, tried to kidnap me, tried to traffic me, tried to take everything I have, tried to starve me, and everybody is having a very hard time stomaching it. That's what this guy just said. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's having a very hard time with what he's doing to her right now. They're having a hard time with it. Nobody understands why in the hell he's doing this. We don't understand. It's not normal to want to do this to a woman. Cynthia'a has been subjected to some major economic abuse and psychological abuse. And for the life of me, I don't know how she's doing as well as she's doing. I don't know how. I really don't. But I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people are having a hell of a time understanding what is wrong with you that you continue to do this to her. A lot of people are having a hard time stomaching this. So you need to keep that in mind before you move on to the next crime, okay? That's what he said to the guy. Maybe he's talking about Jacob. I know there's a lot of talk to Jacob tonight. Jacob, you're not the victim. Charles is not the victim. There's no cybercrime here. There's no crime here. What she's doing is talking about what you're doing to her. She did move twice to get away. She doesn't know these other guys. You're doing things to cause her a lot of loss, and she's talking about that, and that is not a criminal act at all. What's the criminal act is what he's doing to her. He doesn't need to be in Oklahoma at all. I'm just going to say why he doesn't need to be up here. He needs to be back in Lubbock with his family. If he wants to be governor, he needs to go run for governor. There are no Texas voters in Oklahoma. He needs to go to Texas and ask those people to vote for him and quit demanding we all help him win that election. We don't have to do that. That's not our problem. That's his problem. He's not entitled to that. So, Jacob, there's no crime. And I don't see why everybody's demanding that her car be taken from her. I think we've had enough of that. I think everybody's had enough of that. He's talking to Jacob. Okay. After that, this second conversation happened. You either take the fucking hint or you don't. And we've said this. We quote you guys every day. Every fucking day. Because everybody's sick of y'all. And they want to pile it up on you in court. And it will take your attorneys literally 6 years to read through it all. You have the right to a speedy trial if your attorney can read through all that in time. All right, what's this about a marriage license, Mr. Perry? I don't even like you. There's never been a date. In 9 years, nobody's seen us in the same room. If you come anywhere near me, everyone knows I'll beat the hell out of you. You have threatened me with kidnapping. You've threatened me with starvation. You've threatened to kill me. So, I'm not going to wait and see what you're going to do or what weapon you might have on you, a syringe, a chloroform rag, a gun, a knife. I will kick your fucking ass. Okay? And ask questions later. So you've been told that over and over and over and over. There's zero chance of a date. There's none. You repulse me. You give me the heebie-jeebies. You give everybody the heebie-jeebies. I can't tell you how many people complain when you come. When he's here, I'm like, oh my God. The hair on the back of my neck stands on end when that guy comes up here, and I got to drop everything I'm doing that I want to do and deal with that shit. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of I'm sick of it. That guy needs to get a life and leave Cindy and her family alone. So you got to understand that you are not normal. Everybody else is normal. Everybody else is sick of y'all imposing your abnormal criminal activity on the rest of us. And we don't have to be okay with it, and we're not okay with it. So let me finish what this guy said. What he said is, when he did that to her and took her car, a lot of people had a really hard time with that. We don't understand, why in the hell would you do that to her for 6 months? And then you took her car. So she goes back to the club. She's living at the club. She's finally able to at least eat and work. She had no money. She did not steal a dime from Paul. She slept right there in that club with a code to the safe and never stole a dime from him. Not one dime. All that time that she was there. And while she was living in her car, took not one dime of charity. She didn't go to the Catholic Church and take charity. She didn't go get on welfare. She just didn't eat. So I'm having a hell of a time right now with this bullshit story that they're telling everybody that she stole money. All this time, nothing's come up short. Now all of a sudden, 3 Fridays in a row, while Joe's guy's there, she supposedly stole money, and I need you to understand, nobody believes that. I can tell you right now, the owner and his kids they know already good and well she stole not a fucking thing from them. They know that. They already know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. The amounts coming, the fact that this comes up short right when you guys are wanting to take her car and traffic her, that's not a coincidence, and you need to understand everybody knows what you're doing. You are not covering up a damn thing. And everybody is having a very hard time with what you're putting her through. That is why they're finding out before. You're not getting it. That is why they are always getting that information before you do something to her. The information we get, by the way, is very specific and very detailed. Charles, I asked you not to contact me. I don't want to hear it. I don't care to hear it. No one asked you what you think. No, not one person asked you what you think. I don't care to hear it. I don't give a fuck what you think. And nobody understands why you think I do. So the guy was extremely irritated, as everybody is. We're normal, you're not. You're not. It isn't normal to sit on your ass all day trying to figure out how to ruin one woman. It isn't normal to want to hurt other people. You're very abnormal. Therefore, we get the help, you get told on. Your actions are criminal. Heinous crime. Heinous. The guy said about 100 times. Everyone is having a very hard time stomaching what he's doing to her. Everybody's having an extremely hard time with what Charles is doing to her. I assure you, the owner and his kids know good and well she did not take that money. They already know. So, what I'm going to say is, she has been falsely accused of a theft or causing some sort of loss. Her money that she took right from the tip jar, put right in her pocket, took right from her pocket, put right on the money counter. Week 1 is $54. The short is $54. The second week it was $77. Same thing. Money goes right out of the tip jar into her pocket, right onto the money counter. It's $77. They're short $77. Now the third time it's $200 because now they all know what you're doing. She's not going to give you her ones this time. She's going to take him to the bank. And instead, they run out of ones, so she felt like she wanted to help out the club. I'll give you my ones. I didn't want to because I know that you're taking the money from my tips and trying to make me give it back to you. And it is not your money. So that you can deprive me of food and shelter, hoping to facilitate the trafficking of a woman. And you're caught. And everybody's very upset with you. Very upset with you that you did that to me. Now, the second thing the guy said is, he said, I can tell you that the owner's son sits on his ass in the office all night long and does nothing but get on his phone and text and get on his phone and do whatever. And he has nothing else to do but sit and watch video. But instead of doing that, what he's going to do is ask her to spend her time and her money and her gas to go up there and sit there and watch the cameras to review and see what she already knows and he already knows. And he does not have the right to do that to her, nor do you. Nor do you. And while she's in there, you go take her car. And I'm going to tell you right now, we know it, y'all know it, she knows it, her people know it. And everybody is having an extremely hard time with why in the hell you would put her through that. They're not okay with it. You need to understand what you're doing is very abnormal, is very cruel, and everybody is not okay with it. They're not okay with it. That boy could sit there and watch the cameras. If he really thought Cindy was stealing, he needs to watch the cameras and not ask her to go out there and waste her time and her gas to watch what she already knows. Okay? She knows it and he knows it. And while she's there, lose her car. It isn't her problem. It's not her responsibility. The amounts are too close to what she cashed in, and there's nothing lost until all of a sudden when you guys have a delivery deadline and everybody knows what you're doing. So I can't believe anybody would be that cruel. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if he was talking to Jacob still or not, or if it's even the same guy. They don't tell me that. You know why? You know why they don't tell me who it is? Because if somebody walks up and says, how'd you know I said that? Then we confirm a lot of things right there. Or how'd you know I actually didn't say this, I said that? We confirm a lot of things right there. It's one way to prove out a recording. The guy said repeatedly, Mr. Perry, you continuing to try to talk to me, and nobody understands why in the fuck you think I want to hear from you. I don't care what you think. No one understands why you think I would. And you've asked me about leaks all day. So we got more and more. You are not to contact me at all. And every time you do, you're about to have to pay with every penny you have. You're going to pay for it. It is going to cost you everything you have. My guy told you in March 2020, you, sir, act like a grown-ass normal man. And you don't invade her privacy. And you don't contact her in any way, shape, or form. Not her family, not her. You don't contact them. You get a life and you leave them alone. And she better not be broke. Stop doing things to take her money. Stop doing things that cost her money. And get the fuck out of her life. Or I'm going to do it for you. And if I have to do it, you're not going to like it. And I believe me when I say it isn't up to you. When we get this stuff, is it up to you, Calvin? Is it up to you, Mr. Bittencourt? Is it up to you, Lucius? It is never up to you, David. Every time you contact me, Charles, in any form, you buy us more and more because you were told not to do that. It is offensive. You give me the creeps. You don't have the right to do that. I don't want to hear it. I don't care to hear from you. Get out of my phone. Get out of my life and fuck off. So we got this thing tonight where this guy's pretty upset. It is outrageous that they would first accuse her of doing something we all know she didn't do. Secondly, it is outrageous that they're going to ask her to spend her time and her gas driving all the way out there to do what he can do by himself. He's out there anyway. He's sitting on his ass, not doing another thing. Then he can see what she already knows. And he already knows. And then while she's there, take her car. and then force her against her will to go get raped so you can make money. And you need to understand, nobody's okay with this. Charles, my answer is no. Fuck you. Fuck you. You get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. You sick fuck. Get away from me. Every time you contact me, every time you take something from me, every day you invade my privacy, look what we get out of that. You get told on. Everybody hates you. That guy said that about 100 times. You are not getting it. Everybody's having a very hard time with what you're putting her through. It's not okay. And you need to stop it. It's not okay. And you cut it out. You get that bitch out of here. I don't think you have a choice. Look at this. Does it look like you have a choice? Look at all this we got every time you thought you had a choice. You don't have a choice. Get away from me. Get away from me. We've documented you want to frame me for a murder. We documented how you want to frame me for a murder. You wanted to do prostitution. You wanted to do some kind of jewelry scam, and you got caught. You always get caught because everybody hates what you're doing. They hate you. All of you. So, when we put all this out, it is to document that you were recorded planning something maliciously criminal. And you planned it, and we get details, and we get specifics, and everybody hates what you're doing, and that guy said that. I don't think you understand. Everybody has a really big problem with what you guys are doing. I don't think you understand, Jacob. Everybody's very upset about this. I don't think you understand that people are having a hell of a time understanding why he's doing this to her. And it's enough. Stop it. You're caught. Because everybody has had it with you. They're sick of this. They're sick of y'all. They're sick of you. Do you not get it? Why is he doing this to her? Look at this. He goes, I don't know how she's doing as well as she's doing. She has been for 10 years subjected to absolute horrible psychological abuse and economic abuse. For 10 years, all the time. I don't know how she's doing as well as she's doing. I don't know. I've tried to figure out how is she handling this so well. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. People are tired of this. They're tired of it. Always causing a problem for her. You did not have the right to cause a problem for her at work. You guys fix that. You fix it. It's your problem. He said, I can tell you right now, she didn't steal money, and they already know that. That kid sits there doing nothing. He needs to sit and watch the video by himself and not ask her to come out there and do it. It's his responsibility. Everyone knows she didn't take any money. If she will go without food and not take charity and not take welfare, she's not going to take their money. And they know that. They know exactly what you guys are trying to do. Everyone knows what you're trying to do. You're depriving her of her basic rights and needs so you can make a couple million doing something illegal with her body, and you don't get to do that. We're not okay with it. She already knows. Everyone knows. You know why they know? Because nobody's okay with this. People are having a hell of a time with this, that you would do that to her. And then you're going to ask her to drive out there and watch video. He can do it. He's already there. That kid can do it. Okay? Everybody knows she doesn't take their money. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows who took it and why they took it. We're going to refrain right now from saying who it was. Okay? What the guy said over and over and over is everybody is having a very hard time understanding why you are doing this to her. Okay? She already knows. She said no. You're depriving her of her basic rights and needs so you can make extra money doing something illegal, and you're caught. Here's the disclaimer. You're horrifying people. Horrifying people, Betancourt. You're horrifying people, Lucius. You're horrifying people, David. That's why we get the help you get told on. It's been that way every day for a decade. Everybody's sick of you people. Charles, I'm going to say this to you one more time. I don't care what you think. Get away from me. Get away from me. I didn't ask you what you think. Somebody the other day said that poor girl has to live with all those sick men gawking at her all day long in her house. I don't know how she does it. That is horrible. It is horrible they're doing that to her. I couldn't live like that. Sick, fucked up men gawk at her in her house. Golly. Yuck. So they are getting caught right now because they're doing that to her. And they've called everybody trying to figure out who's helping her, and no one will tell them a fucking thing. Because I think people are horrified by this, by what they're doing to this woman. By the way, they killed a cop over there. I think they're horrified by that too. So when this guy tonight said, everybody's having a very hard time with what you're doing to her. Everybody's extremely uncomfortable with what you're doing to her. You don't get to deprive her of her food and shelter so that you can make millions on an illegal transaction using her body. You don't get to. Not this time. We all know what you're doing. Everybody knows. Now, I'm going to ask you not to do that to her. I'm going to ask, he goes, I'm going to ask you right now. He asked the other guy he was talking to. I'm asking you, please don't do this to her. Stop calling and asking everybody to pick up her car. Just leave her car alone, please. Stop calling about taking her car. Stop taking her money. Stop trying to starve her. Stop trying to abuse her. Stop trying to rape her. And just leave everybody alone, okay? I'm asking you right now. Everybody has a very hard time with what you're doing right now. They're not okay with it. That's why she's finding out before. Charles, get away from me, you fucked up sicko. You get away from me. I can't stand you. Get away from me, you fucked up weirdo. Get away from me, you fucked up weirdo. You leave me alone. Get away from me, you fucked up weirdo. Get away from me, you fucked up weirdo. Get away from me. As much as we quote you, nobody understands why you people think you have a choice. No one. You're not all there. None of you. You're all senile. Everybody's sick of this. So, we get the help, and you get told on. What you're doing is abnormal, is sick and twisted, and the rest of the world is normal, and we're not okay. The guy said, nobody's stomaching this right now very well, what you're about to do to her. Nobody. So I promise you, it's not going to go right, because you got a lot of people that cannot stomach what you're doing to her. They can't do it. It's not okay. Please stop it.
Continuous body language.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way.
If you can even fucking believe this, Mr. Perry's typing in my other phone. We need to talk. Yeah, we don't. I said no. Get away from me!
Okay, it's not clever. It's not cool.
Nobody owes you crime. You're not entitled to crime. You got a lot of people that want to hit you. You're making people uncomfortable. We quote you every day. Fucking understand what it means that we have that. And stop bothering me.
It's not cute. It's garbage.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
me
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, You don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Alright, all this stuff. Listen to me one more fucking time, you senile old sicko fart. When you contact me, we always get more, because nobody likes that. It's abnormal. We're all normal. We live in a civilized society. You're making people mad at what you're doing to me, and you're making me mad. I don't like you. Fuck off. Fuck off. Get away from me. This guy said, this Jacob guy or whatever, here. I think he said, listen, Jacob, there's no cybercrime, there's no crime. What's happening is they're doing things to her, and she's talking about what they're doing to her. Why is Charles in Oklahoma? Why is he in Oklahoma? So, what he said is that, quit acting like he's a victim. He's not the victim. He's not the victim. She's talking about what he's doing to her in Oklahoma. That's not the crime. What the crime is what he's doing to her in Oklahoma. He's trying to force her to go be raped. Everybody knows that. It's not okay. People are having a very, very hard time with this. So, when he told you in March 2020, David Robertson, Charles Perry, Lucius Calvin Betancourt, Greg, Tim, and Larry, her privacy is not to be invaded. You do not contact her or her family again. Not in any way, shape, or form, not directly or indirectly. And get your hands out of her wallet. Stop taking her money. Stop doing things that cost her time and money. And you leave her alone. Because if you don't, I'm going to get a lot of evidence and information on your criminal activity, and I'm going to let you sit there and dig your hole nice and deep, and I'm going to bury you in it in court, and it will take your attorney 6 years to read through it all. Because that's my witness. You're tampering with my witness, and you've been told repeatedly to cut it the fuck out. They say it, and then they show you. We getting the help you get told on. Every day for 10 years. And you're so stupid you can't understand that people do not like what you all are doing. You're not entitled to your crime. I'm entitled to food and shelter and privacy. You horrify everybody with what you're doing. And so when he said that and you thought you had a choice, you thought wrong. And we got all this. All of that. Your names. You can't name my guys, and you can't quote our meetings. Nobody will help you. You are getting the runaround we promised you would. A long time ago, when you were offering me bribes and shit, which sometimes he still does, what he said to you is she doesn't ever have to lie for you. And you are not to bribe her. The thing is, you have taken her money and you are to pay it back and get out of her life. Give back what you took, you fix what you broke, and you get the hell out of her life. You owe her that. You're the offender. She's the victim. It is not the other way around. It is not the other way around. Nobody owes you your crime. How dare you think that? And because you thought that, look at that. Look at that. You thought wrong. You got pushback now. Okay, Calvin? I've not met Lucius. I've not met Calvin. I've not met Betancourt. I think I've met Jacob, but I'm not even sure. But people are pissed off at Jacob tonight. Really, really, really pissed off at Jacob. So, When you thought you had a choice, this is what they showed you. You don't. And you guys run around going, how'd she find out? How'd she do that? You don't get to intercept police communications in their effort to protect their witness. You don't get to tamper with the witness. You don't get to prevent a witness from testifying against you. And we know that's what you're trying to do. You don't get to retaliate, David. And if you weren't doing what we said, you wouldn't be trying to take my car and subjugate. Suborn perjury. I do not want to be a part of your crime. I've made that very clear. Pressuring me is just pissing me off. I have a whole different personality than you're used to dealing with. Why you chose me, we don't know. I was raised by cops, and I was born with my middle finger up at the world. And the more you take from me, and the more you try to do to me, and the more you try to subjugate, and the more you butt into my business, the more pissed off I get. I don't cry. I don't cry. I get pissed. Really pissed. I did without food for 6 months. I did not ask for charity. I did not ask for welfare. I'm not going to steal from my boss. And they know that. They know that. So this guy was pissed off. I can't believe that kid's sitting there all night doing nothing. Can't sit there and watch the cameras without her being there. She doesn't need to be there. And they already know she didn't steal from them. So to ask her to spend her time and gas going out there and sit there and watch what she already knows happened is outrageous. And then take her car while she's doing that is outrageous. And I'm telling you, people are having a really hard time with this, with what you guys are doing. He said with what you're about to do. They're having a hell of a time with it. It's not okay. People are having a more and more trouble stomaching your crime. So that's why we got all that. Okay? I'm not the kind that just goes, oh, okay, I'll do it. You say okay. You're going to piss me off, and that is a mistake every time you do. Look at this, David. You piss me off, we get more. You invade my privacy, we get more. You're horrifying people. You take my money, we get more. You contact me, we get more. You cause a problem for me, they'll cause 20 for you. And they told you that's what they would do. You're criminals, we're cops, we will cause problems for you and your crime. We'll do it, I promise. You will get the runaround when you try to find out who we are. We promise. We promise. Our intent is to take this and use it in a court of law to get convictions. We promise. You want to tell yourself some other bullshit story? Be my guest. It doesn't change what we're doing at all. It's different when you do it to me. It's different, dum-dum, when you do it to me. Always has been. McNamara email Charles was in 2015. The second you saw that, the second you saw the Fabian puzzle, you should have known everything's different this time. Nothing is going to be the same. No other victim has that. And you're just slow. You want people to elect you as governor. I don't care what you think politically. I don't live in Texas anymore. You fucking never mattered to me. You don't understand who I am. You don't understand how I grew up. You don't understand what my life was like before I met you. You fucking don't matter. You're some little peon podunk nothing who wishes you mattered. You don't matter. You never did. My job was to get you elected so the cops could get to you a lot easier. It's easier to get to an offender, to question them undercover in an event where there's a lot of people around and he's shaking hands with a lot of people and talking to a lot of people than all by himself sitting in an accountant's office. Don't you think? It was a brilliant strategy and it worked. You don't fucking matter. I do. I matter. Look at this. You think I don't matter and you matter? You're off your nut. You're delusional and you're off your nut. And you're stupid if you really think that. I think the evidence says something different. I think you're not able to process that information coming in at you, and I think you don't know what the fuck's going on. I think you're mentally gone, and you should be in a nursing home. That's what I think. People are starting to ask the same questions about David because the same conversations are happening where y'all talk in circles and you don't make any sense and you're not understanding what people are saying to you. You're not getting it. What does it mean that we have that? I don't know. Okay, wow. I think they both got Alzheimer's or something. I've told you over and over and over and over and over that our guys talked to somebody and the guy said Charles Perry has Huntington's disease. It has made him whack job, complete whack job. He's not making good decisions. He's not able to. He has hallucinations, delusion, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning, paranoia, because he has a mental problem, a disease called Huntington's disease. He'll tell you it's Tourette's. It is not Tourette's. It's Huntington's. And he told everybody make sure she doesn't find out. I can't stand watching what he's doing to her. I can't do it. I cannot stand it. Make sure she finds out. That's what's wrong with him. But I think David's got something like that too. Both of them. Both of them do stuff. I can't. It's like, wow, I don't understand. Wow, you did not just do that. Really? Really? You do know she already knew you were getting. You knew she got like 5 emails about this already. All day long, you talked about taking my car. All fucking day. And you pissed a whole lot of people off. So I found out about it. We found out about it. People are horrified by your criminal activity. Why would they not be? You guys have your little group of abnormal, weirdo, sociopaths. Outside of that, please understand, is everybody else who is not sociopath and not whack job and not cruel and normal. And we can't stomach what you're doing. And the man tonight said that. You are not understanding. For him to ask her to go to the club and waste her time and gas doing something he can do with her not there to find out what we all already know, so Charles can get her car from her while she's doing that. First, you accused her of stealing, and she's not stealing, and we all know that. Second, you're making her take her time and her money, and she has to deal with it. And you're trying to get her fired, and we all know that. And you're trying to take her car so you can pressure her to be complicit with your crime, and people are not being able to stomach that anymore. Do you not understand? That is why they got all this. That is why they get it. Please tell me you're not that slow, mentally slow. Charles was not invited to Oklahoma. Oklahomans are not obligated at all to help him run for office in Texas, and he's not entitled to elect a position. First, he needs to prove he's mentally competent to do it, and I don't think he is. Because if he is, we wouldn't have this conversation, would we? So, because if you want to win an election in Texas, you go to Texas and talk to voters there. You don't go to Oklahoma and commit one crime after another, even though you're caught and everyone knows you're caught. Okay? So something is wrong with that guy that he's doing this. And people are not able to stomach this anymore. And I'm very upset that you're about to do this to her. I'm upset. Everybody's upset. And I'm calling you to ask you to stop it. Just stop. Because we are done dealing with it. We're done. We can't handle it. Nobody's comfortable with this. Nobody. Did you call my uncle? Is he comfortable with it? How do I know you were talking about calling my uncle? Everybody wants for you to go away. All of you. Just go away. So we get the help and you get told on. And 10 years into this, you can't understand what that means. Not our problem. We're going to get the intel. We're going to use the intel to put you in jail either way. Okay? And the more horrified you make everybody, the easier it is for us to get all that. And then we find out before, not after. We've now established, for the record, malicious intent, criminal intent, and you premeditated it. And you talked about taking my car all fucking day. All fucking day. My guy says, we just recorded one guy telling another guy, the officer who pulled her over got the mileage off her car for you. Do you want it? Is this true or not? Is that true or not? Is that legal, Charles? For you to use taxpayer-funded resources for that? I don't know. You tell us. Now, we're done explaining how upset you've made everybody else and why we can get information and you can't. It is not our responsibility to repeat ourselves all the time for you. That other guy said, I may have to talk to Charles and I'm going to tell him one motherfucking time is all I'm going to say, this asshole. Write it the hell down. This repeating thing is getting on everybody else's last nerve. Okay? Nobody should have to repeat themselves this much. And I'm sorry that you all need nursing home care, but get it from the nurse and don't bother me with it, and don't bother anybody else with it again. We're all tired of it. One time is all you should have to say it. Charles, if you want to run for office, there is no time in politics to have to explain things to you with the puppets and the crayon and the Play-Doh and the finger paints, and then do it over and over and repeat over and over. The things that most people just know. Other people don't do what you're doing because they know that it horrifies everybody else. And for us to have to tell you that over and over is insane. You are too stupid to run for dog catcher if you're at that place, mentally and intellectually. You can't do it. There's no time in politics to repeat. Now, when we told you here, when he told you in March 2020 and you thought you had a choice, and then after that we got all this, and we got people's names. I've not met Calvin. I've not met Lucius. I've not met Mr. Bentoncourt. I've not met Larry that I know of. I don't care who you guys are. I don't care. I've not met you. I don't give two fucks who you are or what you think. But I'm telling you right now, when you continue to do the crime to me, you get told on and we get intel. And he will bury you with it in court. That is the plan. That is his... He's said that's my intent. He's stated his intent. And your delusion doesn't change his intent one bit. We quote you every day. Now, you have very much upset people about what you want to do to me tonight. Should I go out to the club and watch the fucking video of what we already know it's going to show? He said, 2 or 3 people have said, those 2 boys and the owner of that club, their dad, already know she didn't steal their money. They already know. So, you want to fix this or not? I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to lose everything you have because you're not. Because you're causing problems. You, Charles, take from me, they take from you. You've never seen this before. Everybody hates your guts. You're abnormal. You're imposing that on other people. And so we get the help, dum-dum. It is not the other way around. You act like you think it is. You look like a fool. Everybody knows you tried all day long to get my car. Because you want to traffic me. David, everybody knows you talked about taking my car all day long because you want to traffic me. That's illegal. Life sentence per count. And y'all ran around all day long. How does she know? How'd she find out? And you don't get to know that. Okay? You don't get to know that. The guys Charles told you a long time ago, if you will show some remorse, give back what you took, and get out of her life, I'll call you. I'll call you. But not until you do what I tell you to do. Because I'm not repeating myself again. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to use it in court, and I'm going to get a conviction. And you're done. You won't hurt anybody ever again. That's what I do for a living. I like relieving suffering caused by crime. There's a reason Cindy and I get along very, very well. And I've known her most of her life. We're very close. Okay? Now, you do what you do. I'm certain you can live with your choices.